President Rodrigo Duterte stresses that his decision to appoint Senior Associate Justice Teresita Leonardo De Castro as the new Chief Magistrate of the Supreme Court is not motivated by politics. Rosalie Cos tells us why.
The opposition has questioned President Rodrigo Duterte's appointment of Senior Associate Justice Teresita Leonardo De Castro as the country's new top justice. De Castro has only less than 2 months to serve the post since she will be 70 years old on October 8, the mandatory retirement age for a Supreme Court justice. Some say this is a political reward because De Castro voted in favor of the Quo Warranto petition to oust Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno after her failure to submit complete copies of her Statement of Assets, Liabilities, and Net Worth when she applied for the position in 2012. However, Duterte insists there's no politics involved in the appointment and that his decision was based on seniority and merit system.
And it will be the same for all justices. Not only De Castro, lahat yan sila. Unless of course they refuse or maybe they would opt to retire kung konti na lang panahon. Pero kung lahat sila tatanggap, talagang train yan. Lahat sa military ganon, walang singitan. In the civil service, no political colors included. Bawal yan. So, merit system.
De Castro is the most senior among the members of the Supreme Court. She was appointed in 2007 by former President and now House Speaker Gloria Arroyo. She also served as Sandigan Bayan Presiding Justice in 2004. Meanwhile, Duterte made light of claims of an opposition lawmaker that the real reason behind the president's upcoming visit to Israel and Jordan is to undergo a medical procedure.
That's why I'm bringing si Mato to prepare for that eventuality. And just in case war breaks out there. And then I can have my stomach open, my chest open, and my brain.
But after jesting, he soberly told media he will check on the condition of thousands of Filipinos working in the said countries. Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue, Taguig City.
President Rodrigo Duterte says he is tired of listening to Communist Party of the Philippines founding chairman Jose Maria Sison following the latter's claims about the president's health condition. Sison has alleged last week that Duterte was in critical condition, which the chief executive has repeatedly denied.
I am tired of listening to Maria Sison. Look at how degenerate he is. Wala na siyang ideology. Sige niya bantay na doon sa mga sakit ng tao. And that is the way you are fighting the revolution. Nagbabantay ka lang kung sinong mamatay, sinong may sakit.
President Rodrigo Duterte honors ordinary Filipinos as he led the celebration of the National Heroes Day. Rosalie Cos tells us why.
President Rodrigo Duterte pays tribute to the heroism and sacrifice of countless Filipinos on National Heroes Day. The chief executive says the country does not only honor Filipinos whose portraits were embedded in currency and history books, but also the daily heroes. These are military and police personnel, educators, overseas Filipino workers, and others who help in building and developing the nation.
Today, let us honor ordinary Filipinos who, despite the challenges that come their way, continue to work for their well-being and their families, the betterment of their communities, and the advancement of our nation. These are our everyday heroes that we need our youth to emulate and look up to.
Among the unsung heroes is Angelita Kasaway, a high school teacher in Taguig City. She has also been serving as school coordinator for the Boy Scout of the Philippines for 3 years. Aside from cleanup drives, she also teaches senior scouts first aid and basic emergency response.
Napakalaking tulong sa kanila. Instead na ma-divert yung attention nila sa ibang gaya ngayon maraming mga drugs, di po ba? Instead na mapasama sila rito, mas gusto nilang mag-join sa Boy Scout.
She admits being a BSP coordinator is not easy since she has to expend extra time for it instead of spending it with her own family. However, she says being one is self-rewarding since she is able to teach young Filipinos of loving their fellow men and the country. Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue, Taguig City.
A historian believes that the Philippines has more than one national hero, and declaring one personality as a hero should not be legislated. Kathy Maglalang tells us why.
National Heroes Day is celebrated every last Monday of August, as stated in Republic Act No. 9492 Series of 2007, as decreed by then President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. A historian believes that the Philippines has more than one national hero and that it is risky to just rely on the legislature the declaration of a certain personality as a hero.
Sa proseso ng kasaysayan, ang mga bayani ay masasabi nating pinili sa pamamagitan ng public acclamation o hinirang sila ng bayan. Ayan, hinirang sila ng bayan. So walang batas na nagtatakda na ang isang tao ay isang bayani, at delikado kasi na magkaroon tayo ng ganong practice dahil kung sino man ang may sapat na bilang o quorum sa ating kongreso ay maaring i-declare nila ang kahit na sino na pambansang bayani.
He said it is the government's obligation to continue acknowledging and commemorating the acclaimed heroes of the nation. Ramos added that this important day is dedicated to commemorate all the heroes of the land, including the unknown. He said further, the National Heroes Day is a taken-for-granted holiday, but the mass media and the government can be good vehicles in promoting the important occasion.
Madalas ay nakikita natin na holiday siya, pero marami ay nakikita na lamang ito na araw para sa isang extended na weekend. Nakakalungkot na parang kokonte or taken for granted itong holiday na ito.
He recalled that in 1993, a National Heroes Committee was established in preparation for the 100 years of independence of the Philippines from Spain. In 1995, the committee released the standards or guidelines in choosing national heroes. He further explained that choosing one national hero is a wrong practice.
Mali po na pagsabungin natin ang mga bayani natin sapagkat lahat sila ay may ambag para sa pagpapabuti ng ating bayan. Meron silang ambag sa pakikibaka para sa kalayaan ng ating bayan. Hindi dapat merong isang pinakabayani sa lahat dahil lahat sila ay nag-ambag, so may tuturing natin sila na mga national hero.
Ramos believes that anyone in the present time has a potential to be a hero, such as the hardworking government workers in the country, for as long as they serve the nation with decency and empathy. He encourages the youth to read more about our history to understand ourselves more.
Ang kasaysayan ay kwento natin. Tayo o yung lipunan natin ngayon ay produkto ng ating nakaraan. Okay. So kung gusto nating maintindihan ang kasalukuyan, balikan natin ang kasaysayan.
Kathy Maglalang, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The 2019 proposed budget of the Department of Transportation may face possible reduction if various concerns of public utility drivers and operators are not addressed in the Senate hearing. Joan Nano tells us why.
Senate Committee on Public Services Chair Senator Grace Poe threatens the officials of the Department of Transportation against possible budget reduction under the proposed 2019 national budget. This is if the Transportation Department fails to answer the various concerns of thousands of jeepney drivers and operators on the issue of Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program of the government. Among those concerns that the senator wants to clarify is if the 80,000 peso subsidy will be enough for the drivers and operators to comply with the modernization. Another one is the slow-paced distribution of fuel vouchers, wherein to date, the number of those who received the vouchers only compose of 25% of the total population of jeepney drivers nationwide.
Kung hindi nila magagawa yon, talagang magkakaproblema sila pagdating ng kanilang budget. Siyempre, ayaw naman natin gawin yan, di ba? Na basta ipitan dahil maraming apektado.
Senator Poe was the special guest of honor in the Transport Summit held earlier led by the Group Piston. The said summit was attended by hundreds of jeepney drivers and operators to once again express their doubts and complaints against the PUV modernization program. Piston clarified that they support the proposed improvements on the public transportation sector, but not the current version of the DOTR and the LTFRB. They believe that only the big car manufacturers will benefit from it and not the PUJ drivers and commuters. Piston was grateful for the support given by Senator Grace Poe on their concerns.
Kampante kami, no, at natutuwa kami sa pahayag ni Senator Poe kasi yun naman talaga ang gusto namin mangyari. Maimbestigahan ulit itong issue ng peking modernization, lalo na on the basis ng mga bagong circular na nilabas ng LTFRB.
Piston is asking the Senate committee to investigate on what they claim as a questionable provision under the Omnibus Franchising Guidelines, forcing the individual operators to purchase modern jeepney units. The LTFRB, on the other hand, earlier stated that they are pushing for the use of new jeepney units to prevent road accidents. Meanwhile, the distribution of the fuel vouchers continues. Joanano, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
Over 40 Philippine languages are in danger of going extinct, according to the Komisyon ng Wikang Filipino. Charlie Barredo tells us why.
The Philippines is home of large variety of languages. Apart from regional and national languages that Filipinos use, indigenous communities have individual languages and dialects depending on how they are classified. According to the Komisyon ng Wikang Filipino, there are 120 to 170 languages in the country, but sadly around 40 of this number are vanishing at an alarming rate. According to KWF Commissioner Purificacion de Lima, these are mother tongues of ethnic and indigenous communities that families do not consciously and unconsciously pass on to their children at home, opting to prioritize regional and national languages instead. When use of indigenous languages is minimized, de Lima explains this would lead to its extinction, and so does the culture it nurtures.
Tawag namin sa kanila nanganganib na wika. At ang wika, mga wika natin ay kayamanan ng ating kultura at ng ating identidad bilang isang nasyon.
In the 20th century, historians and linguists have witnessed great extinction of some Filipino languages as dominant ones continue to devour weaker language families. To prevent more loss and death, the KWF says urgent measures should be adopted to preserve them. The Commission has launched national competitions to save the indigenous languages and erected language monuments to remind regions of their mother tongues.
Ngayon, mayroong monumento, konkretong simbolo ng ating mga wika na magpapaalala na kailangan nating pangalagaan ng ating mga wika bago pa sila mamatay.
De Lima also says that schools around the country should also teach, show the value, and provide incentive for children to become skilled in indigenous languages of their locality. The Commission also believes that all of humanity should spare no effort in arresting the disappearance of languages to save a piece of our human history that dies every time a language perishes. Charlie Barredo, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
The Department of Health plans to trace over 200,000 tuberculosis cases as the number of Filipinos who die of the curable disease increases. Aiko Miguel tells us why.
Approximately 1 million people in the Philippines currently have active tuberculosis, and many do not know they have the disease. Although TB is curable, at least 60 Filipinos die from the disease every day. It currently ranks 4th in the list of top sickness that causes death among Filipinos.
1% of the population may TB, which is about 1 million Filipinos with TB. 60 patients with TB die daily, especially ito yung mga hindi nagagamot.
The Department of Health targets to lower the tuberculosis incidence to 15% by 2022. To do this, the agency, together with the United States Agency for International Development, have launched TB platforms and innovations to manage the cases. Properly trace and detect especially the more than 260,000 unmonitored TB cases. DOH will prioritize the tracing of TB cases in the National Capital Region, Central Luzon, Calabarzon, and in Marawi City.
Papalakasin natin ang health systems para nang sa ganon malinaw ang database management making sure that the numbers that are reported are accurate, hindi kung saan galing.
Although there is an allotted 1.03 billion pesos fund for the National Tuberculosis Control Program, agencies like the USAID still offer financial and technical augmentations for TB cases.
This program is $50 million, but 6.5 billion pesos over the course of these, I guess it's been 10 years, which is a long time. But again, it shows our real commitment, and we consider it a very serious effort for a very serious problem that's plagues countries all over the world, including, of course, our own.
DOH reminds the public to seek consultation once they experience symptoms like fever, weight loss, fatigue, and loss of appetite.
Napakamahalaga na kumpletuhin ang TB treatment kasi kung hindi, mas mahirap ang gamutan pagbalik kung resistant na yung tubercle bacilli.
Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The House Committee is set to launch an inquiry on the reported weevil infestation of rice stocks that were imported by the National Food Authority. Ray Pelayo tells us why.
House Committee on Agriculture Chairman Jose Panganiban wants the officials of the National Food Authority and the Department of Agriculture to explain why the government should accept the imported rice that are infested with rice weevils. Last week, around 300,000 bags of rice still aboard ships in Albay and Subic ports were reportedly infested with rice weevils following delays in unloading. Infested sacks of rice will be fumigated within 7 to 12 days and be allowed to unload and distributed after the treatment. And the officials have stressed that the said rice stocks are still safe for consumption, Congressman Panganiban says they have already filed resolution seeking to investigate the incident.
Hindi naman ako palo dun sa statement ng NFA na pwede mong ipakain yung may bukbok na bigas. We have already written a letter to NFA na i-clear nila sa committee bakit nila sinasabi na gano'n. And hindi lang yun, pati sa DA.
The chairman of the Samahan ng Industriyang Agrikultura or SINAG, Rosendo So, also advises the government to reject the weevil-infested grains.
Yung mga may bukbok, imposible yan na 3 buwan lang ang stock. Maski rito sa local, maski magtanong ka sa mga magsasaka, maski magtanong ka dun sa mga miller, sigurado yan, umabot ng 6 months yan bago mag-start yan na magbubukbok.
But NFA spokesperson Rexes Tuperes insists the rice import passed standards before they were shipped to the country. He argues the unloading of rice was delayed due to the unfavorable weather condition that contributed to the increase in ships' warehouse temperature, resulting in the infestation.
It's common sa bigas na magkabukbok, lalong-lalo na ang temperatura ay mataas. Yung mga sinasabi nga mas maluma na daw ang bigas. At based dun sa aming age analysis, 2 to 3 months. It's within normal sa amin yun. May standards kami.
Ray Pelayo, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Consumers will receive a brief respite from surging product prices until the end of this year, according to the Department of Trade and Industry. Monokson tells us why.
Manufacturers have offered consumers some sort of relief after agreeing to the proposal of the Department of Trade and Industry to delay their planned product price hikes until the year ends. DTI has earlier made an appeal not to increase prices of basic and prime commodities amid accelerating inflation. These products include some brands of detergents, canned sardines, and meat, while the agency still awaits the response of manufacturers of milk, coffee, and noodles.
Pigil muna kung may plano silang mag-increase. Kahit 50 centimos, wag muna. Pagpaliban na nila yon kahit mga 3 buwan para lang wag na magsabay-sabay dito sa mga inflation.
According to DTI, 25% of the 200 brands they monitored have already imposed price increases, while 75% have yet to make adjustments. DTI has also approved several pending requests for price hikes and plan to update its expanded list of products with suggested retail price. After this, the agency will temporarily reject applications for price increase. DTI assures it will try to keep the prices of basic goods stable, calling on the Department of Agriculture to also focus on the prices of agricultural products. The economic managers of the Duterte administration, meanwhile, assures that prices in local markets will be stable by next year. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
President Rodrigo Duterte is open to the proposal to name Mactan Cebu International Airport after Lapu-Lapu. The chief executive always mentions on his speeches how Lapu-Lapu's bravery is seemingly forgotten in the history. Lapu-Lapu is the first Filipino to fight against foreign invaders.
Alam mo, Magellan was the first invader to set foot here in the Philippines. It was Lapu-Lapu who fought them. Why is he more honored in this country? May Lapu-Lapu hotel, tapos isda Lapu-Lapu. That's crazy. Itong si Lapu-Lapu fought for our country. He died. Somehow, they say, after that battle, but he was able to kill the Supremo of the Expeditionary Force of...
So you will rename, sir?
Garments and leather goods industry players are lauding the current administration's efforts to push for the growth of the manufacturing sector amid the ongoing expo participated by over 80 companies. Charlie Barredo tells us why.
Different business opportunities were showcased during the first Philippine Garment, Leather Goods, Industries and Fabric Expo held from August 23 to 26 at the SMX Convention Center in Pasay City. 81 companies from China, Hong Kong, India, Korea, Pakistan, Singapore, Taiwan and Vietnam participated in the expo, which was endorsed by the Department of Science and Technology Textile and Research Institute. The expo is in cooperation with private firms that agreed to work hand in hand with the government to bolster the growth of the industry.
It's Philippine because Philippine as the destination, Philippine as the country where these foreign sellers would want to meet local buyers. So they bring their machinery here hoping to meet manufacturers from the Philippines to be able to buy their the machine, the equipment.
During the event, various companies presented their garments, leather goods, machinery, printing and design softwares, and many more. Trade and Industry Undersecretary Seferino Rodolfo emphasized that the expo came at an opportune time as the DTI and other government agencies have been racking up efforts to sustain and boost the momentum of the manufacturing sector. Company owners at the event were pleased that the expo pushed through. Some of them even lauded the current administration in its efforts to push the growth of the manufacturing sector. A few of them even underscored that trade has seemingly been easier due to the strengthened ties between Philippines and China.
We know from the news, the President Duterte and with Mr. President Xi, this relationship, also with our country's friendship.
I think we have been received more warmly now, and when I tell them that I'm from the Philippines, kumbaga parang they're excited to work. I see a lot of Chinese guys coming actually to the Philippines to try to see if they can engage with companies like us. So yeah, I mean, whatever the current administration is doing, I think it's doing very well, trade-wise, between China and the Philippines.
Charlie Barredo, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Tourists finds the light at the annual Night Festival in Singapore, which showcases various light installations. Here's why from Queenie Balyon.
Singapore's Heritage and Art District celebrated its annual Night Festival from August 17 to 25, 2018. This showcases lights in a variety of art forms like light installations, fashion, music, dance, and theater performances. The Singapore Night Festival 2018 is a platform that allows the festival goers to interact with arts. Some of these are the life-size kaleidoscope, the world of wearable art, a display of designer clothes made from eco-friendly materials, and the Graffiti Alive that projects RGB spotlight. Festival goers enjoyed strolling around the city with full selfie opportunities, art activities, foods, and acquaintances. A festival programmer says most light installations are interactive and interesting.
Whichever profession or whichever interest group you are from, you can also come to the festival and present something that's truly beautiful with us. That's what we truly stand for.
Tourists from different countries are amazed of the illuminated playground. They say the Singapore's Night Festival made a short visit to Singapore truly memorable.
Oh, it's actually really fun. The lights and the LED structures that you guys got here, it's amazing. I've been in Singapore for a while, but I've never seen a show. I mean, everyone's socializing, everyone's talking to each other.
I came from Russia here, so this is my first time to experience this kind of light festival. It's very great and very unique. Yeah, and just beautiful to see the horse and the rest things. Yeah, I'm just very happy that I can attend this kind of show and festival.
Returning for its 11th edition, the Singapore Night Festival showcases new creativity, spotlighting people from different disciplines and backgrounds, including those outside the art sectors, who are coming together to create and collaborate. Queenie Balion, UNTV News and Rescue, Singapore.
Motorists will face a new round of oil price adjustments this week. Oil industry players say that effective Tuesday, the price of gasoline will go up by 10 centavos per liter, kerosene by 45 centavos, and diesel by 60 centavos. The new adjustment in oil prices reflect movements in the international petroleum market. Some young singers of Panay Island endure difficulty and long hours of travel to get to the Wishcovery Season 2 audition in Pavia, Iloilo. Leslie Longbowen tells us why.
The search for outstanding young singers continues as Wish 1075 kicks off its Wishcovery audition in Visayas, here in the province of Iloilo. Non-schoolmates took a boat ride to make it to the audition.
Para sa amin, yung wish po, yung stepping stone po, para sa mga kagaya namin, may mga dreams. Ang tanging kailangan, puso ay
Meanwhile, UP Visayas student Sandrian Loriega sees Wishcovery as an opportunity to explore her talent and genre.
Sobrang exciting kasi syempre it's like a brand new arena na pwede kaming mag-explore and to show our talent.
I've met someone like you before, your style and time. On the other hand, Seji Arlos says his nearly 3-hour travel from Concepcion, Iloilo to the audition site in Pavia was worth it.
Parang magandang workplace yung Wish kasi mas minimall at saka ini-exercise talaga nila yung mga singers para okay yung vocal cord.
The next Wishcovery audition will be held in Robinson's Place, Pangasinan on September 4. Leslie Lomboan, UNTV News and Rescue, Iloilo.